Hey, it's me Tiffany, welcome back to my channel. Today we're watching episode 1 of Top Form. It is a new series that came out. I think it's a WeTV original, but it's starring Boom and Smart. I know Smart from, what's that show called? He was Leon, I think, in, oh my god, I'm like blinking on the Don't Say No. He's Don't Say No. And then Boom, I've seen him in a few things, but I think mostly I've known him from Chain of Hearts. Not like the best series, but I really liked his acting, so I'm very excited. I know that this is an adaptation from a very famous Japanese manga, and like I've heard a lot of people talking about it and how great the manga was, and are interested. I know that it's not talked about as much. I feel like BTV BLs aren't just as hyped as others, like maybe like Aichi or like just like YouTube stuff from GMMTV. I think it's like they're starting getting into BLs this past year or two. Like they did like with Cage again. It was okay, an okay series. I didn't really finish that, but they did a Monster Next Door, which is really good, and a few other series that are originals that are like okay, like I can see quality coming in from this company. So definitely a company that I'm looking out for when it comes to. Yeah, I forgot if they're doing the boxing one too. I'm not sure if it's like, is that also? I'm not really sure. But back to Top Form, I'm very interested. I watched the trailer, the pilot trailer. I was like, ooh, interesting. Watched the trailer when it came out a few weeks ago, and I'm like, definitely gonna react to this. Still unsure if I'm gonna do like 30 minutes or if I'm gonna do 60%. BTV is back and forth between. I found like, I know that the Chuang, like you can do reactions to Chuang Asia and you can do 60%, but like for when I was doing for review it was 35 minutes. It goes back and forth. There's not like a solid like how many minutes I'm allowed to post on YouTube, so I'll just test out 60% first, and if it doesn't work I'll go do the 30 something minutes version. But yeah, episode 1 and 2 are out. I'm gonna do it in 2 different videos just to make it easier on myself when it comes to editing. But yeah, excited to see how things are gonna go. So without further ado, let's watch episode 1 of Top Form. Let me turn up. Oh, okay. What is this? House MD? Sorry. That like the photos are just like, oh, look at that. He found the emotion. Out of all the spots, he chose to sit right next to him. Right? I'm about to have a kiss. Guys, you guys, isn't there people in front of you guys? Oh, I thought they were gonna kiss. Because he fell in love. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, he fainted. No? I don't know what the first of all, really, really amazingly filmed. I think what drew me to the series originally was the actors as well as the cinematography. I was at awe with the pilot already. I felt like it was like something that we don't really get as much in a lot of BL series. There's shows here and there that really like draw my attention in cinematography. I think My Stand was a great example of like, it was a great example of like how I fell in love with this cinematography, and The Sign as well too. The Sign, I think it took me a minute. My Stand also took me a minute to like. I think it wasn't until the scene where Up's character was crying, and I think it has a big part to do with the actors as well as just the way the directors chose to do things. And once again, it took me a while to get to that point. But for this one, the trailer got me excited and was at all already. So, and then coming in with kind of more of an expectation because of how I felt about the trailer, I'm actually like that kind of like expectation is maintained throughout episode 1 already. And I think one thing that I really enjoy is that there are scenes where the two actors are like communicating with each other, and the dialogue felt like classic Thai BL dialogue, where sometimes it isn't as emotional. It's like I don't know exactly how to express it, but like it's a classic like way that they deliver the lines where it just feels like you're watching a drama instead of like a drama, you know, like capitalized drama. I don't know if that like helped me explain it, but like that's like how I kind of interpreted it, and it's really hard to kind of say because like it works in my mind and I can't. It's like words, but yeah. But and then they switched over to certain scenes where like when they're talking to each other and with other people in those flashback moments, it feels more like cinema. I guess like drama and cinema might sound like series style, cinema style. There are scenes like, for example, when he's like when Jin walked up and he was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be your like, you know, you're gonna be, I'm looking up to you, I'm like you're gonna be like my senior and all that kind of stuff. That line really was more funny and more series like. Think about like the way that GMMTV actors deliver their lines, I guess. Like I think a great example is like the way like Perfect 10 Liners actors right now like deliver their lines. This is the one that I recently watched, so it's on top of my head. But then there's times where like there's like more movie like, and it's more of like I'll give an example of like it's more emotional, I guess. The other scenes are more emotional. I can't really have another example on top of my head. But yeah, if you get it, you get it, I guess. So like I love the distinctions between that. You're able to go back and forth, and it's a really well balanced before more of the funnier lines and also the more serious lines. At the same time, this episode already portrays the confusion of emotions that is going to be built up within the series. If you didn't watch the trailer, I think a big part of this is the relationship between these two characters and how it impacts their lives and their like job as actors, who requires to have these like bond and connection of understanding your feelings, and it's a setup for that already. You know, there's a lot of setup within this episode, but at the same time they're equally like covering that kind of like setup into a story that is more like synced into an episode as well, so if you know what I mean. Foreshadowing with Jade's character talking about like, you know, there's no such thing as like being equals. If you want to be the next Akin, it means you have to be better than him, because you gotta top him, and you would have to be stronger and more popular and more better at acting than he is to push him down so you can take that spot. So like that's a great example of what foreshadowing. And then like the confusion of going back and forth, like are they talking as Akin and Jin, or are they talking as their cop characters? And I think that's like another kind of like distinction of like the overarching story that they're trying to tell here in this whole series of like their love story. Is it for work? Is he doing this for work, or is he actually feeling the emotion of love and stuff like that too? But also implying that there's a special connection between them. I think like the wings, you know, at first I was like, what the fuck? Wings? What are we watching? Like, are we watching The Sign? Like, there's magical elements in it? There's no magical elements in this, or mystical elements in it, but it's more of a representation of this is a pure soul, of somebody who is generally like so pure. Like, he's never been in the acting industry, never been in the entertainment industry, and we all know how toxic and intense and just horrible for your mental health and like for a person to stay in the entertainment industry and stuff like that. So like this pure self who does not have any experience in the industry, does not, you know, is a newbie who just doesn't have much skills either, and he's coming in here with like, I look up to this amazing actor who is so good at acting, who is so like so quote unquote caring, because that's what we saw at first, like all the things he's done, like, and like there were scenes where we can see that Akin is not that caring a person. He has an attitude. He does like fucking hate a lot of things, like when he was talking about the people about him and then off and just other things, and like him getting angry and here, but like I think you can represent that as like he's just so like he just like takes his craft so seriously. That's why he has this attitude. And then like the other sides where he's super nice and like caring about like generally helping him out, and I think that's where he sees more of that. So it like kind of mixes in and all that kind of like pushing more of that like I fell in love with him feel. But yeah, this episode was really great. I really had a lot of fun watching it. I like these are really short episodes. I feel like I've been like spoiled by like some series that's been out recently for like longer episodes, but like, it's fun. It's fun. But I guess we get 2 episodes this week, so I'm totally fine with that. And we're watching episode 2 of Top Form. Just finished watching episode 1, and we're moving right to episode 2. I think I came in with really high expectation based on the trailer that I saw and the pilot trailer, just being like, just looking really good. You know, I felt like episode 1 met my expectations really well. I think it was maybe a little bit better, I guess. I don't know. There was like moments here and there that I was like, okay, interesting. But like, I felt like it worked its way around, and I'm like, okay, my expectations are met. So I'm gonna maintain that higher expectation with episode 2 and see how it's gonna go. Usually, after episode 1 of a series, I adjust it based on how I feel about it. But my expectation is still the same, so excited to see how Jin and Akin's relationship is gonna continue. So without further ado, let's watch episode 2 of Top Form. You know, drenched in fake rain. Oh god! I thought he was gonna fall backward and Jin's gonna catch him. He fucking hit his head. Oh god. Oh my god, he took him. Sorry, this is kind of funny. He took him to the hospital on a motorcycle. It's like this man fainted. Okay, it's supposed to be romantic, I get it, but like, it's so funny to me. He's sick, probably on a high fever, hit his head. Probably has a concussion, we don't know. Probably not, it wasn't that hard of a hit. Oh. Close friends? Bro. He's picking up his new car because he said he was gonna get a new car so he can drive Akin around. He's not showing off, he's telling you he got the car for you. I fucking knew it. You know, okay, my lesson from Joe Boys, the only person in that close friend list is him. Okay? It's only fucking him. Because his date got ruined. It's gonna be Jin. It's gonna be Jin. It's gonna be Jin. It's gonna be 100% Jin. Okay, first of all, I think the biggest thing I have to say when I was watching is chemistry. I think Boom and Smart has phenomenal chemistry, and I've seen clips of them outside, like just being Boom and Smart, and I think they have phenomenal chemistry, and I think the biggest factor of why this show works so well is because they have amazing chemistry. Because if you put 2 actors who maybe don't have really good chemistry or aren't really good at acting, the show flops right away. There's so much emotions and acting required in the chemistry because they need to be very good with each other, be able to read each other to produce those scenes the way they are produced. And I'm not trying to be harsh, but like, it's the truth. Like, I've seen enough shows that like they have crappy screenwriting, but if the chemistry is there, you can overlook it slightly. But I've also seen really crappy acting and really good scripts, and it doesn't work. So like, I think this is a mix of a perfect script, not perfect script, but good script and phenomenal acting that boost it to the expectation that I have, and cinematography wise. So I think really the 2 actors are doing a lot for the series as well too, let alone like just the script itself. I do want to talk about like the whole scene where Akin got the call. He's like, if they don't want me as their brand ambassador, I've been doing it for 3 years, then they can go find somebody who can replace me, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's going to start being a trend where like, you know, Jin is this new up-and-coming actor who is prospected to be the next Akin. That means Akin is going to popularity is going to start going down because they want the newer, younger, better-looking actor now, you know? I'm not saying that Akin is not, but, like, there's also the next thing. It's constantly this cycle, like, this, like, hype you have a limit. You have an expiration date when you're an actor. When the new one comes, you're a goner. So I feel like because also another factor is that he did not sign with Sigma Entertainment, which is a big factor. Like they said like they use their manipulation abilities with the media to push the popularity of their newer actors and stuff like that too. And he chose not to sign with them, putting him as a competition. So it's gonna be a big factor, I think, into like there's gonna be idea of jealousy and romance that's going to play a big role in their relationship, where like you can clearly see, we all know that Jin is fucking simping for Akin, and I think that's going to be clear and it's going to maintain that way. I think Akin's character is going to be the one that impacts a lot of the emotions and the drama within the series. I think Akin, he is very hardworking and he wants to remain that popular guy, right? And I think like everybody else in his position will do the same thing as him of trying to maintain that popularity. But I think what he's gonna do is that he's gonna realize that being himself and what he's been like doing the whole entire time is not gonna be worth it. He's gotta find other ways for him to stay relevant and stay popular, and that's gonna be where he's gonna start manipulating Jin. But at the same time, we can tell that he has these emotional reactions toward Jin already. He's falling in love with Jin. He has this attraction, this connection with him, and I think there's gonna be moments where he is gonna fall in love and he's gonna be happy with Jin, but at the same time, he needs the relevancy, he needs that popularity, because that's what he's been working on for so many years. And that's where the betrayal, I think, is gonna happen. And you can clearly see that it's already a back and forth with Jin's character. And like, I think there's a slight the whole with the vending machine scene, you can tell that, okay, like, it's showing that like, oh, this person is taking over what I used to have. Like, he's getting what I had in the past. But at the same time, it was a cute moment where he's like, this kid that I acted with and I helped him out a little bit a year and a half ago, is now, like, obsessed with me. He liked every one of my pictures. He followed me since then. And he, like, admires me, all that kind of stuff. He's like, oh my god, interesting. And then he followed him. That was like kind of quote unquote for him embarrassing moment, because like that means like it shows that he was watching the video live stream, and at the end he also has something going on feeling wise, I guess. And then seeing him around and like all over the place is like, god, I gotta see that person who made me feel this emotion I don't really like, because love is that feeling that people are just like, it's not what we feel daily. So it was like this new feeling. He's like, ugh. So he just like annoyed that you see that person that made me feel that around, right? That feeling. So there's a lot of mixture, and I think this series is gonna go really well into these crazy emotions and the competition of a person being able to feel multiple emotions at the same time, these multiple feelings at the same time, and looking at it once psychologically, that struggle and the fight of the self, of what they want and what they need to do. So yeah. There was definitely a few moments where I'm like, is it really necessary? I feel like it was the whole, so far, I think it's because the series episodes are pretty short, 45, 43-ish minutes for episode 1, episode 2, short enough where they're not using too much of time to talk about nonsense characters that are not relevant to the plot. I think later on we're going to bring in a lot more characters, but for episode 1 and 2 we barely get side character information. The only side character was required to tell the story of Akin and Jin, and setting them like the managers and all that kind of people and the directors. But it's, I think maybe 90% of the scenes were about Akin or about Jin specifically, which really draws me in as a viewer, because I know a lot of times where you have so much cast and so many different characters. Great example, Flirt Milk from Star Hunter. That fucking show is one of the worst series I've ever seen in my entire life. There was no plot. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Acting is really bad, right? And I keep watching it because I was like, how worse can it get? Like, that's my motivation to keep watching that show, and I came in there knowing that it's gonna be a fucked up show, and I'm still watching it because it's so fucked up. I like laugh. I take 5 minutes out of my Saturdays to watch that show. That's how fast I skim over it. But that show is a clear example of too much people, too much casting, too much story, that you're not focusing enough on enough of the actors. I feel like a lot of Thai BL/GL series want to give so much, but because they lack that depth of writing, that that they are not able to produce deeper stories. And this first 2 episodes as a good example of like not needing too many actors and too much storyline to produce something good. And then like My Stand-In is another great example of that. And even The Sign is not really, because I really hated the side couple in there, the 2 girls character. I feel like that was really unnecessary and not needed, because it just annoyed me. There's another show that is a great example of like there's a few shows out there that really focuses only on no need for side characters in the beginning as well too, because you're setting up too much things, and this one is definitely one of them. Yeah, so that's pretty much my reaction. I guess so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my social media link down below. Thanks, time.